Alright, there's a new thing I want to do for global Grand Cross, which is with every new character that comes out, or every new important character that comes out at least. I want to make a video doing like a real guide for them and how they're used in like day-to-day use and stuff. Of course, mostly for, you know, characters that you would use day-to-day. And Gowther is the perfect one to start with because Gowther is literally the most used unit in the game. So, what does he do? Gowther is pretty much the best unit in the game. I like giving him the title of best unit in the game because you use him in every activity possible. But yeah, the only reason why he's so good is because of his blue card. His blue card ranks up a card of an ally, or all cards of a specific ally. Or, as a level 2, ranks up every card in your hand. Level 3 ranks up every card in your hand and also boosts the stats by the 20%. The stats are cool, but most of Gowther's usage comes from his level 1 and 2 cards. So, attack card, very simple, attacks used but very effective, especially in PvP. His ultimate removes ult gauge, and maximum he can get like 525%, which is really good, but usually, you know, as a beginner player, right now Gowther just came out on global, you're gonna have him at 1.6, which is a 350% multiplier, which is not very good. His ultimate doesn't hit very hard, but he does take off ultimate gauge, which is very useful. His passive is that every turn that he doesn't take damage, he increases all the allies' attack stat by 10% at a maximum of 50, and if he does take damage, it resets. This is a very good passive, and it will come in handy in the next topic, which how you should gear Gowther. Lots of people keep asking me how they should gear Gowther. You'd think, right, by Gowther being a support unit, he's not a damage dealing unit, he's a support unit, you would only want to gear him with HP and defense, but that's not always the case. I actually, for PvP, do gear him for attack and defense. For the most part, I do gear him for HP and defense, though. I mostly give him the HP and defense side because then, like, he's not supposed to do damage anyways. Oh, this is my good one right here, I think. Yeah, he's not supposed to do damage anyways, so it doesn't matter, you know. You just give him the extra HP and he should do fine. But in PvP, because sometimes the enemy's defense might not break if your attack stat is too low with Gowther. His multiplier is not very high on his attack cards, and you might not deal damage. It ends up not attack sealing. So for PvP, I do end up rocking the attack and defense. Just because, again, if you do want to break their defense and just do the damage and attack seal, that might be better. Of course, that mostly revolves around the blue units. Blue units, if you're rocking the HP and defense on the geared PvP, you might not actually break their defense. But in regular PvE usage, you can rock the HP and defense and leave the attack and defense stats for other units. One thing is that one kind of, this is a very endgame thing, I don't recommend doing this now, but one thing a lot of, like, very, very deep into the game JP players do is give him full defense. And the reason for that is because of his passive. So, if he doesn't take damage, he doesn't end up boosting all the allies by 10%. So if you give him like full defense, he has like 10k defense, right? And then you also like give substats for like resistance, and he doesn't take damage from like cheap like attacks, right? Like non-ultimate attacks and like AoE attacks and stuff. He's not going to take any damage, especially in PvE activities, right? Especially PvE activities, of course. Then you keep boosting your team, and you keep boosting the units in your team, and he's just the ultimate support unit at that point with full defense, all 6 gears defense. But I don't really recommend that. Right now, you should just use the sets that you already have. HP and defense for most cases, PvP, raids, you can use him with attack and defense. The thing is that his ultimate does hit decently hard to the point, if you have him paired up with King, he does hit decently hard. But yeah, if you do want to make sure you do the damage and attack steal, it's pretty good to have him attack and defense. Now, general uses for him, he is a must-use unit in raids. I'll put a raid gameplay right now, I'll capture it later. Pretty much, you want to use him in every single raid. Red Demon, Grey Demon, and the new raid that's going to come out on Global hopefully next week. I'm assuming next week. The Crimson Demon, which is called something else on Global, I don't know what it is. But he is used for everything, so put him in every team. He is literally used for all 3 raids, and in Extreme as well. Always using my Extreme. Even though Grey is blue, you still want to use Gowther. What you do pretty much is you should have both teams with Gowther. If you're the host and your teammate doesn't join you with Gowther, kick him. Honestly, just kick him. You kind of need Gowther, and that's the reason why I personally went so deep for him, because he's a necessary unit in the game. He will be in the coin shop, but you know, he's a necessary unit in the game. Pretty much you want to get a rank 2 of Gowther in the first turn. As soon as you get a rank 2 of Gowther, you rank up everyone's cards. This includes your cards and the allies' cards, which means that his level 1 Gowther is going to also become a level 2 Gowther. So pretty much what you do is you get level 2. If you don't get it first turn, just use your useless cards, right? Use your worst cards that you have in your hand, which if you're using a booster, that should be like the attack of the booster, like Green Gowther or Green Hellbrum, and then go for his attack card or something. Make sure to just wait until someone gets a level 2 boost. As soon as you get it, there is an emote for the level 2 boost. You should have it because it's in the missions, you get them from the missions. If you don't have it, just, I don't know, signalize that you have it. As soon as you use the level 2 boost, the ally should use level 1 boost, or whatever, if he use level 1 boost, and your level 1 boost will become a level 2 boost, and that will boost literally every single card in both players' hands to level 3s. And that's the reason why Gowther is so stupid for raids. Level 3 cards are very broken because they're level 3. They're supposed to be difficult to use, right? To get a level 3 card, you need 4 copies level 1 card, but because of Gowther, you don't. So that's pretty much it. So you use level 3s in your hand. Usually you want to use some boosters, so you use like Gowther or whatever, and then you do the damage, and that's pretty much how the cycle of Gowther goes. Every raid, you pretty much wait for the level 2 rank up card to just rank up everyone's cards, and that's his general use. And without Gowther, like right now on GP, we're mostly doing Hell raids. And on the Hell, you need to use a specific typing that has type advantage against the raid, right? So Gowther can only be used on Crimson because Crimson is green. When I do Grey Demon, it's the worst thing ever because it just doesn't have Gowther. Red Demon is slow because it doesn't have Gowther. Gowther speeds up the raids. You can do it without Gowther, but Gowther just speeds up the raids by an insane amount. Yeah, his attack card doesn't do damage, but it doesn't matter because he is making the other units do more damage. So that's pretty much it about the raids. PvP, like I said, you can use him with HP and defense or attack and defense, but I do recommend using him attack and defense. And ungeared, both ungeared and geared, he can be mishmashed with like any team. You can put him on almost any team formation and he will be good. Of course, not every team formation, but most team formations would be good with him. A lot of units that you know require to use level 2 cards, like I don't know, Blue King. Blue King needs a Petrify, and you can get an easy Petrify by just ranking him up, or you can heal for ranking him up. Like pairing Gowther up with these kinds of units is just, you know, stupid. It's just really good. One very good use for Gowther is Arthur. I know a lot of global players love Arthur. Like, Arthur is like the most overrated unit in global for some reason. But right now that Gowther came out, he's actually much better. So, I'm gonna get some gameplay from this. I'm not gonna be able to show on global. I wanted to get the gameplay on global, but this I have to do on GP. If you are able to get 2 rank ups from Gowther turn 1, because of course the 7th card is a random card, you double rank up Arthur, or if you get like another Arthur boost, you can combine them and then rank up with Gowther, and that will be a level 3 boost from Arthur. And that's just almost pretty much the game is done, because a lot of teams right now in global are using Green Bond, and he can't snatch because Arthur gives immunity. So Gowther helps you out a lot, and that's a pretty good chance of happening because that's 2 cards that you would need to get in the 7th slot. It's either the rank up or the extra boost from Arthur. So again, Gowther is a really stupid unit for most teams. Again, Bond as well, if you want to do like a level 2 snatch. Again, if you can get 2 rank ups from Gowther in the turn 1, you can double rank up Bond, level 3 snatch, level 3 attack, which is the most broken combo. And you know, again, not the easiest thing to do sometimes because the enemy might just cleanse or whatever, but it's when you do execute it, it's just very, very useful. Attack ceiling, of course, the attack ceiling from Gowther is really good. It's easily cleansed by King, which is a very, you know, very much used unit because he is free. You get him from story chapter, but in case he doesn't have a cleanse, you pretty much force them to use their cleanse, which is something they don't want to. If you attack seal them, you just completely disrupt their flow of their team, right? And in general, Gowther can be used for literally anything. Whenever a new difficult event or a new difficult raid comes out, Gowther's gonna be in for there. JP had multiple events. they're like a one-time thing, right? Where it's just a raid, and then you play for like 2 weeks, the raid goes away, never comes back, right? So I'm assuming Global is gonna have these same events, or if not other events. So for all these raids that are gonna come out, you toss Gowther in the team, and he's gonna be good to go. Even if the enemy is blue, again, like it doesn't matter, because all it matters, even if he dies, all it matters is that he gets the initial rank up and ranks up everyone's cards to level 3. Gowther is the best hero in the game. If you want to pull him for his banner, it's still up by the time I'm recording this, but he is going to be in the coin shop forever, so he is also a free-to-play unit because of it. You can buy him in the coin shop. That's the free-to-play units of this game, are the coin shop units, so you can easily just buy him from the coin shop. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Gowther is pretty good. That's how you use Gowther.